All-Star appearances between them with Garnett, Pierce, and Allen. Now all three will get their first NBA championship. They all sacrificed their individual games for the sake of the team. This is a Celtic team that the old Celtics, the Russells and Havliceks, are so proud of for the way they played.
Having lost 2 in a row and trailing the Bobcats to open the fourth quarter, Chris Bosh decided the losing streak needed to come to an end. Bosh erupted for 14 points in the final frame to cap a 30-point, 15-rebound night, and in the process got the Raptors back in the win column. Tonight, it's the ultimate test as Toronto closes out their road trip against KG and the defending champs in Beantown. Raptors Celtics, this is Game Day. After snapping a 2-game slide in Charlotte, the Raptors close out their current 3-game road trip in Boston against the defending NBA champion Boston Celtics. And this is Raptors NBA TV Game Day. I'm glad you could join us because now you don't have to move at all. You can sit in a chair just like Jose and Jay Triano right there and sit down, watch the pregame show, watch the game, everything right here on Raptors NBA TV. Welcome inside our 307 studios. Paul Johnson along with Jack Armstrong and Leo Routens, the A-team in the building. Gentlemen.
It just says when Sherm's not here, it takes 2 to replace him. That's all it says.
Well, that could be true. Sherman Hamilton will be on the broadcast with Matt Devlin tonight, but we welcome you to the show, and it's always fun to get anything to do with the Boston Celtics, especially when they're back at this level, Jack. The Boston Celtics now are playing at a level that they haven't in some time.
I didn't realize the other day when I packed that I was wearing green, so
well,
I apologize.
I'm
kind of look like I'm St. Patrick's Day here, but they're a great defensive team. I loved watching them play a year ago. They got after it. I mean, obviously the acquisition of Ray Allen and particularly Kevin Garnett changed their culture quite a bit.
Yeah.
And Leo, I just think they were a joy to watch in terms of how they got after people day in, day out.
Well, I'm a big Doc Rivers fan, and I thought this team really took on his personality as well as Kevin Garnett's. The intensity, the defense, the way they came out and played. You have other variables that came into play, like Paul Pierce asserting himself as being one of the elite players in the league, no question about it. So it really was a special event to see the Celtics capture that title.
When you can add the likes of Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen, along with the reigning or the current All-Star in Paul Pierce, it certainly makes them the big three. But the Raptors have a big three of their own, and so far on this road trip, they haven't quite been totally up to snuff, but at least they got a win last time out, and they will need to be better tonight against the Boston Celtics. This road trip started in Atlanta. They had no answer for Mike Bibby and Joe Johnson, though.
Quite frankly, they were lousy the other night. I mean, they really struggled against the Atlanta Hawks. They didn't play anywhere close to their potential. The defense was just not there, and Joe Johnson, Bibby, and company just lit them up big time.
That's a tough matchup for
yeah,
them,
it was.
too.
Well, you know what? I don't even think it's necessarily a tough matchup. I just don't think the Raptors played their game. They just got outplayed and outworked, and that can't happen. And quite frankly, for the first half of the next game, they were outworked as well.
Yeah, that's true. And it wasn't until really that fourth quarter when Chris Bosh took over. They were close, but 26-12 in the fourth was the deciding factor.
Well, it was encouraging that they played better defense down a stretch of the game, and Bosh just is a guy on a mission right now. He's playing as well as anyone in the league at this point.
That was one of the most impressive Bosh performances I've seen. He just said, you know what, we can't do this anymore. We're not going to lose this game, and put his team on his shoulders. And I was incredibly impressed with what he brought to the table against Charlotte.
Everybody kind of jumped on board as well, and they all kind of went along with
That's
them.
his job. Hey,
well,
when you're struggling,
right.
hey, guys, hop on. Let's go.
I do a radio show on the Fan 590, shameless plug, and a caller
show.
called in and actually said that. Why not Chris Bosh, early consideration for MVP? You know what? If he keeps playing at this level, he's going to get a lot of votes.
Well, it's a valid point. I mean, you see what it is that Leo just alluded to with what he did in that game, Leo. I mean, take us through when he gets that look in his eye and says, you know what, I'm done with the losing, it ends right now.
Yeah, I mean, somebody had to do something to energize this team, and not only did he do it on offense by scoring inside, scoring outside, all of a sudden he's defending the basket, blocking shots, he's talking to his teammates, he's moving the basketball. He did everything, and it's not the first time. I mean, how about earlier in the season, the Golden State game, Sam Mitchell's talking about traps. He says, you know what, let's guard our man. Let's just everybody guard their man, and let's take care of business. You need your leader to do things like that, and he's doing it.
It's interesting. You talk about him showing up to play. I was standing under the basket doing the halftime for CBC, and before the game,
another plug.
No.
You're working it tonight.
I admired how prepared he was before the game even started. He was sweating. He was getting ready to play. And I think when you have a guy, your best player, that's that way, you would hope that the other guys follow.
Well, if he continues to play the way he has on
that was
this
a
road
shameless
trip,
plug. I apologize.
Here you go, 2 for 2.
they'll have a chance against Boston. And he loves
Who
playing
also have to
Boston.
work it?
Here's Chris Bosh.
I love competition, like I always tell people. And, last time we played Boston, they weren't world champs. So it's very exciting to go in another building where they won it all.